How's it gaming? I'm Phil in the Blanks and welcome to Roadrunner for the NES. And that would actually be a pretty good sprite picture of those two if their eye colors were correct, but they're not for some reason. Anyways, let's jump in there. This is Roadrunner for the NES. Look at Wile E. Coyote! He's running so quickly. This is a port of the arcade game, and as you probably tell, the entire purpose is to just run away from Wile E. Coyote while collecting bird seed. But the problem is if you go too fast away from Wile E. Coyote, then you kind of actually make it more difficult, because now he's got rocket skates on. We try to avoid him a little bit. There we go. Then he slows down a bit again. It's basically it's a chase game. The whole point is to keep going to the left, which is weird that they chose the left. Oh, let's get him run over. We did it. That gets us points, because of course it does. Oh, nice. Yeah, the whole point is to get to the left of the screen and finish the levels while he chases you without obviously being caught. Damn, like that, for example. Got caught by that car. That's one life. You need to pick up the bird seed, because you can see my seed meter at the top there will start running out if I don't. Get seed. Oh, that was really close. You don't need to get all of them, but I mean, that's the points and stuff. This is one of those high score type games. Though it does, I think, have a definitive ending. I'm not 100% sure. All I know is that there's really only 4 levels, and then they start repeating with landmines and more difficulty, but the actual levels are pretty much identical. This is a port of the arcade. I don't know if I said that already. It's only been 2 minutes. I don't remember what I've said already. It's a port of the arcade game, which is the same idea, basically, except now it's on the NES. But this was brought out by Tengen. I don't know if it's Tengen or Tengen. I actually never knew how to pronounce it, if it was soft G or hard G. But I think anyone old like me who remembers the Nintendo remembers the company, because they were the company that, oh yes, he hits the rockets. Careful. That's close. They are the company that released unlicensed NES games, and they had a very specific looking cartridge, a weird black cartridge with, their company name on it, and most people probably remember it because of Pac-Man or Gauntlet, or I'm trying to think of another. Gauntlet was probably the big one. RBI Baseball was another, and Roadrunner just happened to be one of them. They released like 20-something games on the NES, and as much as this is a Looney Tunes Let's Play, this is actually more of a Tengen lesson, I guess, for all y'all out there. I just wanted to do a Looney Tunes game. I was like, I haven't used my Looney Tunes intro in a while, since last year's Looney Tunes lineup, so I wanted to use it. What happened there? Why did I get stopped? That was weird. Okay, well, he got me. Oh, my seed meter went out. Damn, really that badly? It goes fast. They were a company, basically it was actually Atari Games, which, weirdly enough, was a separate company from actually Atari. Atari split up into 2 different companies, and Atari Games wanted to make games for the NES. Wow, that unlicensed music is doing a good job. I love that they chose unlicensed stuff. I guess it makes it easier, I guess. But yeah, Atari Games wanted to make games for the NES, and Nintendo had a very restrictive license agreement to make games on their systems, and Atari Games wanted a bit of a better deal, which, I mean, no one got, not even Namco, and Namco was like Nintendo's best friend in the 80s. But no, Nintendo said, no, you get the same deal that everyone else did. So Atari Games decided to create a company called Tengen, and they worked on kind of backwards programming the NES's lockout chip, because basically the NES understands if it's getting an actual licensed Nintendo game, because there was a kind of signal that talks back and forth from the cartridge to the machine at boot up when you turn on the machine, and Tengen basically were able to call the US Patent Office, lied to them, saying that they were going to sue Nintendo, so they needed information on that lockout chip. Gotcha, Wile E. And so the US Patent Office sent them the information on the lockout chip, and from that, Tengen was able to create their own chip. I think it was called the Rabbit chip, that basically fools the NES lockout chip into thinking that this was a licensed product. And then obviously Nintendo sued them, and it was finally settled in 1994, which was many years after they started, but they were able to get like 20 games or something like that, which is really crazy. In the end, though, Tengen did release 3 fully licensed games on the NES, and that was RBI Baseball, Pac-Man, and Gauntlet. So there are 2 versions of those. Whoops, that got me. Jeez. Off I go. He flies in the sky. There are 2 versions of those 3 games. A Tengen version with its own unique cartridge and an NES official gray cartridge. So that was today's history lesson. I hope it doesn't take away from the fact that we were playing a very subpar Roadrunner game for the NES that technically controls better than Roadrunner Death Valley Rally, which I played last year, which I actually really like, but no one online likes it. But this is cute. I mean, the arcade wasn't that big a game either. But I saw that I had this in the collection. I don't have a lot of Tengen games. I have 8 or 9 of them. I should have actually got them here so I could list them off for you, but it's too late. I'm dodging. Jeez. Oh my gosh. I got a few of them. I got a decent amount of unlicensed games throughout the years. From other companies too, like I got Micro Machines from Codemasters, and a few of the Wisdom Tree Bible games. Those are always funny, and not usually that expensive. Though I did miss out on that one time I could have gotten a boxed copy for Sunday Funday for a decent price, and I missed out on that. Anyways, that was all 4 levels. We're going to keep going until I get a game over, though. I'm not doing that hot anyways. But now there's landmines. You can jump over them, which for some reason gets you points. And you need to get Wile E. Coyote to fall victim of them as well. I just love his sprite. It's so funny. Roadrunner. Oh, damn. Now you got me. Oh, you got crushed, though. That should have brought me back. Sometimes that helps. If Wile E. Coyote gets crunched or something like that while he's trying to take you away, you actually revive, which is kind of interesting. Well, that didn't happen that time. Here he comes! I think the Roadrunner looks like the Roadrunner. Wile E. Coyote looks hilarious. I don't know, his face looks hilariously like a generic cartoon wolf or coyote or whatever. Ooh, that was really close. Yeah, oh my god, there's so many trucks. I love how they're supposed to be Acme trucks, but they just say Ace on them because there's not enough room to spell out Acme on the NES's resolution. It's really funny. Careful. Ooh, they make googly eyes, it looks like. There we go. But it's a silly game. I mean, this was 89, I believe? 88 or 89. So it's still fairly young in the NES's life cycle. But by then, we had some really good games like Mega Man and Castlevania and Mario 2. So this wasn't considered great, even by Tengen standards. Pac-Man was based on the Namco port and was very, very well done. Gauntlet's a great game and a great arcade port. And I've heard of... Damn. Well, there we go. Is he gonna... Yeah, and I barked back to life. I've heard the RBI baseball games are really good. What's the other one? What did I say? Gauntlet, RBI. I mean, that's basically it. Those are the big ones. So, it's not like they're bad, but this is definitely not one of Tengen's great ones. They also did Tubin, I think, which was like Midway. I think this ended up, so I think Atari Games ended up being owned by Midway, and then Midway is owned by Warner Bros. now. I think? Anyways, the other reason why I'm playing this game is because the Wile E. Coyote movie, was it Coyote v. Acme? Hit theaters, and well, there, I died. Apparently, it's really good, and I'm debating going to see it because I just want traditional hand-drawn animation to, you know, be a thing. 2D animation shouldn't disappear, and they already messed up with the friggin' Avatar movie by it having been leaked and then releasing them on Paramount Plus instead of actual theater, which I would have paid to see, but I am not giving money to Paramount Plus. Well, there we go. That was it. That's all, folks. Thanks, Roadrunner. I don't even know if there's an actual ending. I saw there's a long play online that you had to beat the game like 5 times. I'm like, I ain't doing that. Phil, put in my name, RJR, AEW, Macros, and Muriel. You've won, you've beaten me, but that's okay. Anyways, that was just a little silly thing. Thank you so much for joining me for a silly little Roadrunner game. With that, I'm Phil in the Blanks. See you next level. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this episode, click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to know when the next episode is up. If you want to support my channel, share some videos with some friends and consider supporting me on Patreon.